So this is the photo that the feds released. Quando was in this truck. They saying these 3 white cars that they circled were following him. Let me get this ad off the screen. So he's in that truck. These white cars is following him. Says once Quando Rondo was found, Jones, Lindsay, and co-conspirator 2 would fire multiple shots at Quando Rondo, killing Little Pop. They got these fools on camera right here, bro. They got them on camera. That's them holding the guns. Technology got it. I heard Nipsey say this a long time ago. Nipsey Hussle said, technology, you're not gonna beat the cameras. You could beat the police, you ain't gonna beat the cameras. That's real. They got them on camera right there, circled. This ain't, I ain't go find these pictures. These pictures is public information, so we all can see this. They got you on camera right here, shooting at the car, the same truck. Everybody back then thought this was some gang banging stuff because this happens a lot in California. But turns out they saying this was the Feds saying this is all. Look at the picture. Look. There is no amount of smart that you can be in the streets no more. The technology got it. They got these dudes on camera. Come on, man. Y'all know I'm the best. I'm the best at this. Hey, I gotta talk for a little bit. Y'all know I'm really good at this entertainment stuff, ain't I? I'm bringing y'all all behind the scenes information first. Everybody else gonna act like they made these videos. Man, listen. Anyways, hit that like button. If you ain't seeing this information nowhere else, hit the like button for me. If you ain't seeing nobody reporting this in depth, hit the like button for me, man. I'm giving y'all the pictures of when it happened. So that's the truck that we just saw. Let's go through all the pictures before we move on. This is what the Feds got. They got a picture here of y'all in these rental cars and all these things that y'all use. They got a picture of Quando in this truck. They got y'all on camera firing at them. Same truck, same plates, in 4K street cams. Then they got a close-up of y'all firing. And then they got somebody saying that, yeah, it was y'all. Says Wilson is accused of paying the bounty or monetary award for the cause or for the killing of Little Pop on behalf of the co-conspirators known and unknown. The conspirators hired to kill Quando Rondo. Now let's go to the indictment. Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Let's look at it specifically. Let's look at it specifically. We bring in real information over here. I'm not on here screaming. I'm not on here sweating, passing out, trying to entertain y'all. I'm trying to give y'all facts. I'm trying to give y'all facts. This is what's really going on behind the scenes. I'm not here to do all the extra stuff. This is the indictment. We brought it. We got the paperwork right here. United States District Court for the Central District of California. Y'all see everybody that's mentioned? Everybody that's in this indictment? We know Lil Durk was arrested today, or he was arrested last night, and we found out about it today. That's all the names on the indictment. Here's the charges. Conspiracy and use of interstate facilities to commit murder for hire, resulting in death. Use, carry, and discharge of firearms and machine guns and possessions of such firearms in furtherance of a crime of violence. Let me explain something to you guys. Here's another thing that people don't talk about when we talk about these type of indictments, these type of cases. Let me explain something to y'all. If you don't think as a monetarily successful black man, Durk got trucking companies and all that. Being a rapper from the hood and a street dude that then came up and made millions of dollars. If you don't think these federal prosecutors, judges, People that went to school for 15 years to get their position and did it, quote, the right way, how they feel is the right way, is already upset that somebody that looks like this, come from this type of environment, don't have no college education, ain't did nothing right in life, in their opinion, can get millions of dollars and live a life that they can't even live. If you don't think that pisses them off, you crazy. They want to see you go to jail for this type of stuff. They can't wait to put you in jail for this type of stuff. They don't want to see that you got all this money and all that, and they didn't went to college. They didn't struggle. They didn't have to, go through all the hardships of that. And to them, you got this money easy. You got an easy opportunity. All you have to do is make a song. That's how they look at it. So they want you in jail. Y'all got to stop, man. We got to get smarter, bro. Don't give them nothing. Don't give them nothing. They don't want you in a position as it is. Don't give them nothing. Let's get back to this indictment, man. This is the actual paperwork of the indictment. Hit the like button if you ain't seeing this nowhere else. If I'm the only channel bringing this to you, if you haven't seen this yet, hit the like button. If I'm doing it the right way, hit the like button for me, please. It helps the video grow and go out to more people. Conspirators 1 through 5 were members or associates of an organization called OTF. When they start saying that this is an organization that you're a conspirator in, it's RICO. Now we're talking RICO. That's why Durk is in jail. Now, who's the leader of the organization? He got to go to jail too. Why? Because this is how they prevented. These are called kingpin statutes. This is how they prevented the Italian mafia from getting away with everything that they continuing to get away with. A lot of things that were going on. So I'll use like John Gotti. He was arrested a lot, right? John Gotti, you can't. They put these statutes in place. So a guy like John Gotti, a leader of a boss in the Italian crime families, couldn't just send out little dudes that don't mean nothing to go take the fall for him. They had to create these statutes. The government created these laws so you couldn't be a leader. So in other words, let me put it on Durk. Durk can't be sitting in the office while everybody else is out there doing the killing. And because Durk never got his hands dirty, he never goes to jail. They created these statutes to get people all in one group. So you go to jail for whatever your crew do. This is why, for me personally, I make good money. I tell my homeboys, if you ain't ready to leave the streets and never look back, you can never come around me. I got too much to lose, bro. I love you. I'll never take a picture with you. I'm a felon, so if you go to jail, I'll never come see you. But we got to do things the right way. If you want to come work for me, cool. I give my homies a job. You got to leave the streets 100%. Can't be involved at all. Because this is what happens. It's kingpin statutes. Co-conspirators 1 through 5 were members or associates of an organization called OTF, Only the Family, which, among other things, the OTF, among other things, the organization produced and sold hip-hop music from artists primarily from Chicago, from the Chicago area. The defendants, Keith Jones and David Brian Lindsay, Flocka and Brown Eyes, were members of other gangs in Chicago. So they already trying to establish that these dudes are street dudes. There's a reason they write paperwork the way they write it. They're trying to establish these dudes as gangbangers already. On November 6, 2020, DB, a high-ranking member of OTF, got into a physical altercation with TB. So that's King Von getting into a physical altercation with Quando Rondo at a nightclub in ATL, Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia. Hit the like button if you're just coming in. Please keep the likes up. Let them know in the chat. During the fight, an associate of King Von pulled out a gun and, an associate of Quando pulled out a gun and shot King Von multiple times, killing him. After the murder, co-conspirator 1 made it clear in coded language. Co-conspirator 1, one of the defendants in this case, made it clear in coded language that he would pay a bounty or monetary reward or make a payment to anyone who took part in killing of Quando for his role in King Von's murder. So they've been, and if you're not wise enough to understand, the Fed's been watching this since King Von got killed. As soon as King Von got killed, the Fed's like, okay, we finally got our end. This is how we gonna get them. They gonna retaliate. We gonna get everybody on the RICO. The Fed's been watching this since 2020, waiting for the right time to get these dudes. The paperwork is right here. This is the real indictment. On or about August 18, 2022, the conspirators learned that Quando was staying at a hotel in LA, California, As alleged in counts 1 and 2, after learning Quando's location, defendants Wilson, Jones, Lindsay, and Houston, and co-conspirator 2. I'm assuming that they're not naming co-conspirator 2 because that's the person that's telling, so they're trying to protect his name. Traveled from Chicago to LA for the purpose of murdering Quando. On that same day, defendant Grant also traveled by private jet to LA. So some of them traveled. Hold on, let me look up something. Some of them traveled by rental car. Some of them traveled by private jet. Okay, I'll have to look something up real quick just to make sure. All right. So some got on the jet, some got on the in the rental cars, which as soon as they left the state, it made it a federal crime to commit that. Well, when they left the state to commit a crime, as alleged in counts 1 and 2, all the defendants used 2 vehicles. They used 2 vehicles to track, stalk, and attempt to kill Quando Rondo by gunfire, including with a fully automatic firearm, resulting in the death of Quando's cousin or nephew or whatever, Little Pop. So this is where they explain the object of the conspiracy. This is the indictment explaining the object of the conspiracy. Beginning on the date unknown, but they said no later than or around August 18, 2022, and continuing to August 19, 2022, in Los Angeles County, all these conspirators conspired and agreed with each other to knowingly use facilities of interstate and foreign commerce, airplanes, cars, cell phones, and the internet, with the intent to murder Quando Rondo, which is a violation of the laws of any state, and specifically the state of California, they said, as consideration for the receipt of, consideration for the promise, and agreement to pay anything of value. So they're basically breaking down why it's a conspiracy. They're saying it's a conspiracy because you guys use these vehicles, you use cell phones, you use cars, you use the internet, and y'all had a plan to get paid or pay somebody else something, anything of value. The use of interstate facilities to commit murder, that was the object of the conspiracy that resulted in the death. Oh man, they in a tough case, man. They got these guys on pictures, man. They got them on pictures. They got them street cameras. They got a lot. Conspirator 1 placed bounties on the individuals. So they saying that this dude placed the bounties, and other OTF members wanted to kill Quando as part of the bounty. Co-conspirators known and unknown would pay anyone who took part in the killing of Quando, and or reward the individuals with music opportunities with OTF. That's what makes it a RICO too, because if Durk is the leader of OTF and they can promise a record deal or music opportunities with OTF, and you the boss of that company, then you using the company in commission of a crime. That's what makes it a conspiracy and a RICO. Co-conspirators, find, track, and kill TB. What we're supposed to, they were supposed to do. They use credit cards associated with OTF to purchase the airplane tickets for the co-conspirators to fly to California. It's crazy, man. Let me get down in this indictment, see if there's anything that we didn't see or that we don't know. They basically just giving us all the regular information. Said they use coded language. It's a long indictment, man. 18-page indictment. So I'm assuming there's got to be more in here than just the same thing over and over again. They just breaking down the overt acts and why it's I'm trying to see if there's any evidence that we didn't see. So they got text messages. It says they were co-conspirators were texting biographical information about each co-conspirator, among other things. So basically, they were sending this indictment says that the guys that were going to LA were sending each other their like pictures of their ID, name, date of birth, like, hey, book my flight, bro, book my flight. Somebody said in a text message, this is a crazy thing. They got the text messages. So one of the OTF guys said this in a text message: don't book no flights under no names involved with me. So there's like, don't book no flights with my name. I'll drive. Don't put me on the jet. You know, I'm good. I don't want to be on the jet. Put somebody else on there. I'm not trying to have my name attached. And they still got them. So these dudes took precautions on a street level. You thinking you doing everything right? Like, I ain't got my name attached to nothing. This is crazy. Says one of the co-conspirators purchased airplane tickets for three of the for them to travel. They got a text message on Instagram, bro. On Instagram. So they got it on Instagram. So that lets you guys know that DMs on Instagram, you can send a DM on Instagram, and it's still the feds gonna get that too. This message said that they messaged him on Instagram. One of the co-conspirators messaged another guy on Instagram, said, I'm on my way to LA. So they got even his Instagram messages. Another text came in. One got clear. I'm 15 minutes away from the airport. So they was watching these dudes the whole time. This is 2 years ago. They was watching these dudes. Like, okay, he just sent the text, say he on the way there. They had these dudes' phones. They had their phones tapped. It looks like. Said one flew from Chicago to San Diego using the OTF credit card. Two travel towards LA County in a car. They was just watching all this happen. This is how crazy the feds is. The feds sitting back watching everything happen. They knowing that these dudes is on their way to go kill somebody, and they gonna let it happen just so they can get the RICO case. They gonna let it happen just so it can get the RICO case. That's crazy. Said the feds watched defendant Grant purchase 4 black ski masks from a sporting goods store in LA County using cash. So they watched this dude. The feds watched this dude go into Dick's Sporting Goods or wherever he went and buy a ski mask. It's not funny, but it's like, yo, they watched you walk into the sporting goods store, buy the ski mask, and they watched you walk out, this indictment says. Hit the like button if you're just coming in, please. I appreciate you guys being here. They said they watched them walk into the sporting goods store, buy the ski mask, and walk out. Crazy. Said they used a credit card ending in 1015 to book a hotel for all the co-conspirators in LA. They booked the Universal City Hotel. They know where you was. They was watching them the whole time. They watched them get on the plane. The feds watched them book the flights over those days. They watched them getting the rental cars. They watched everything. They've been tracking their phones. They were looking at the text messages. They watching the Instagram DMs. They said all that in this indictment. It says Grant met with the co-conspirators and provided them with their firearms, including a firearm that had been modified to operate as a fully automatic machine gun. So they put a switch on one. Grant provided 2 cars for the defendants. A white BMW sedan from a rental company in Los Angeles and a white Infiniti sedan with fake license plates. So they did from a street level. I've been in these situations. I understand certain things. I've heard about this stuff. But you know, on the street mind, they think that if you switch the license plate, you know, put the fake license plate on, you know, get a rental car, they doing everything right. Put the ski mask on, get the guns when we get there. Don't do this. Get the guns when we get there. Nah, don't put my name on the flight. Put me in a rental car. I'll drive to LA. They doing everything right from a street perspective, and the feds still got it. The feds still got it. Said they traveled in the BMW and the Infinity to a hotel in downtown LA. So they were switching hotels. They went to the downtown LA hotel. They used the BMW and the Infinity to travel to downtown LA to the hotel where Quando Rondo was staying to find them. They stopped. They even got this, bro. They followed and tracked Quando's black Escalade to a dispensary on Flower Street in LA. Says then they followed him. They followed Quando Rondo's Escalade to the clothing store on Melrose Avenue. So they was watching him the whole day. Then you guys see the picture from the indictment. So they watching. This is in the indictment, this picture. So Durk sitting in jail right now looking at all this. Durk sitting in jail looking at all this. Like, dang, they got the pictures. They got everything, bro. Then you got somebody allegedly telling. So we're going to get to that part in the indictment too. Says, so they watching, the feds was watching them on the street cams, on the stoplight cameras. They watching these dudes in all these cars. They tracked Quando Rondo's black Escalade to the gas station located on Beverly Boulevard, the Beverly gas station. Says they drove the Infinity into an alley behind the Beverly gas station, parked the vehicle, and that's when two of the conspirators jumped out to murder him. It says co-conspirator 2 and the defendants used the firearms, including the fully automatic firearm, to shoot Quando's car. They struck and killed his cousin or his nephew, whatever they call him, Lil Pop, who was standing next to TB's car while TB was inside. So the guy that got killed was standing outside the car, pumping the gas, probably. And Quando was in the car, and they shot him and shot the car. And these are the images from the gas station that the feds have in the indictment. This is the actual indictment paperwork, though. So they have the actual pictures from the gas station. So this ain't like they found this later. They had this the same day of the shooting. Hit the like button if you're just coming in, please. It says the Infinity driven by these defendants, fled the alley from behind the Beverly gas station after the conspirators shot and killed Lil Pop. It says that they traveled to a hamburger restaurant in LA where the conspirators, the guys that just shot at these dudes, discussed payments for the shooting earlier that day. So they went straight to a restaurant. They watched the feds. You got to know how tapped in the feds is. They watched all this. They watched all these dudes from the beginning. They watched them get on the flight. They watched them leave Chicago. They watched them arrive in LA. They watched them go from this hotel to that hotel. They watched them go from that hotel to Quando's hotel. They watched them buy the ski mask, the indictment said. The feds watched these guys walk into the sporting goods store and buy the ski mask. They watched them exchange the guns that they were going to use. They watched them pick up the rental cars in LA. They watched them follow Quando Rondo. They watched these guys on the street cams follow Quando Rondo. They showed pictures of it in the indictment. And then after they watched them follow Quando Rondo, they watched them shoot at Quando Rondo. Then where we at now in the indictment, they said the feds said that they watched these guys go to a restaurant, a hamburger restaurant in LA, and then they watched them discuss and listen to them while they were discussing how we're gonna get paid for that shooting. They watched everything. They ain't even talked about the snitching part yet. They ain't even talked about who's snitching. The snitching part, somebody coming to cooperate, is just the feds showing them, look, bro, look, we watched all this. The feds gonna sit in front of whoever they trying to get to rap. They gonna sit in front of them and say, look, man, we watched all this. This is what we got. We watched this. Here's a picture of it. We watched him do that. We watched him buy the ski mask. We watched him do that. We watch y'all go to the hamburger restaurant. You either flip or you can get the death penalty with them. It's up to you. And the only reason they need somebody to tell is because it makes the case a 99% we gonna win case. There's always that 1% that they could lose. But the feds want 100% open and shut case. So if we get a rat on top of that, all that, they already have all that. They don't need nobody to tell them this stuff. This is not the dude snitched and told them this stuff. And it's so dude is looking at, they presenting this paperwork to whoever they trying to get to snitch, and like whoever snitched first, they gonna get a better deal because you're gonna help us solidify this. All we need you to say, this is what the Fed's gonna say. All we need you to say is Durk knew about this. Does Durk know about this? Yeah, he knew about it. Oh, they closing the goddamn folders. The Feds happy as hell closing the folders. Oh, we got them. All right, sign this. They coming with the goddamn sign this. And he probably ain't even. It's man. They watched everything. They watched the credit cards. So back to this indictment, it says after the Feds watched these guys go to the hamburger restaurant in LA County, they watched these guys discuss the payments for the shooting earlier that day. It says they then purchased airline tickets from San Diego, California, because in the street mentality, you think if I leave LA County, I fly out from San Diego, they ain't even gonna know I was in LA. They can't prove it. So they went back to San Diego and flew back to Chicago from San Diego instead of leaving from LAX. So they would never be in the street dudes mentality. I'll never be placed nowhere near LA because San Diego is like dang near Mexico. Like it's closer to Mexico than it is to LA. So that's just, man, that's just one count. That's just one count. That was just for that stuff. So then they got the firearm charges. This is all just the machine gun charges, the switch. Them switches giving people life by themselves, bro. Let alone all this other stuff. So right here is the part of the indictment. They just talking about how they, switched the gun to a machine gun, which is a whole nother set of crimes, especially in California. California gun laws is ridiculous. Let me see. Let's read through this real quick. They're talking about what happens what you got to forfeit if you convicted. So this is just regular stuff. Like you lose all your rights to guns, you lose some money, different stuff. They just talking about what would happen. This is all forfeiture allegations. So if you convicted, this is what's gonna happen. And that's the whole indictment, man. It didn't say nothing about nobody snitching. I ain't see nothing in here about nobody snitching. It didn't say no cooperator. I don't see no paperwork. I don't know. I don't know if somebody else sees some paperwork I'm not seeing. I ain't seen nothing about snitching. I think I just hear that on the internet. So I don't see no paperwork on Buddy. Is it in here somewhere I'm missing? Somebody would have to point me to the page that somebody told. Because from what I'm seeing, if somebody did tell, it's just icing. This look like they got a lot from my perspective. This indictment is heavy, bro. It's heavy. It looked like they got a lot of information. They got a lot of everything. Now, this is the message, man. Stay out the streets, bro. Even if you from the streets, get away from it, stay away from it. There's no opportunity to win in that situation. There's no opportunity to win in the streets. The streets, everybody loses in the streets one way or another. Hold on. So Academics is the one saying this dude is snitch. Let me see. Academics posted this dude's picture, said numerous reports online are suggesting that OTF member OTF Jam may have wore a wire in the case involving Durk and others. He reportedly served a 12-year sentence in prison and came home and then got booked shortly after on a gun right after allegedly Durk gave him $50K as a coming home gift. I didn't see that in no paperwork. We just watched this video before. So this is Durk and dude right here. This is dude right here. This is Durk. So I ain't seen no paperwork on Buddy. That's just what people are reporting. So we'll see.